At the end of last year, you came out with your book, Who Cares Wins.
I did.
Talk about the premise of the book.
I mean, very simply, I think we're living through a bit of an inflection point, and when you are, you don't see them. But the core point in the book is that I think we're entering into the age of damage. That if you, as a business or a leader, do not behave in the right way, people have now been empowered by social and digital technology to remove you, to take you down, or to act against you. So whether you're the head of an Arab Spring country, whether you're the CEO of BP, whether you're News International, whether you're Galliano, whether you're a misbehaving congressman, people now have this amazing power. One person can create a mass movement, and a mass global movement. And I think we're seeing more and more examples of it in the business world. In recent months, both Verizon and Bank of America had to back down from their convenience fees because of a backlash from people who didn't accept that, created movements using digital and social media. Both companies
and the Komen situation as well.
The Komen thing, another thing, I mean, that all started because of a tweet, and in fact, if you looked at Komen's initial responses to that tweet, is we will not bow to pressure. Fast forward a week, they have backed down. The person who made those decisions is no longer in their job. I mean, you can see examples every week. McDonald's had an example where it was nothing actually that McDonald's did that was wrong. What they basically did was they wanted people to send in their stories around eating at McDonald's with a hashtag MacDo story. And actually people jumped on that hashtag and used it to have a massive go at McDonald's for the kind of food they serve and all those sorts of things. So it was, it's a very complex world we're now living in. And I think my core message in the book is that in the future, if you want to do well, you will have to do good. And that the new price of doing well is doing good. But that if you don't believe in the positive reasons for doing that, then believe in the negative one, because you can now lose 10 or 15% off your share price in a day.
What does all this mean for the CMO? I mean, what needs to be the CMO's core priorities when it comes to this?
I mean, I think it means two things. I think the first one is that the new rules of marketing, the new rules of business, for me, are the same as the rules of social media, and that's transparency, authenticity, and speed. So you no longer, if you see something, imagine that it is going to go massively global and be a major news item everywhere within 5 minutes and respond and react like that. And I think we see numerous cases of people who think something will disappear and it doesn't. And I think you see the people who get ahead of it and react instantly. It actually, it helps them enormously, and they manage to get out of the issue of the situation. I think it means that we're moving from a world where image was everything to a world where reality is so much more important. And I think the Domino's transparency campaign is probably one of the best examples of this. They obviously had their own incident in social media when two employees posted a video of themselves messing around with the food. That ended up on every major news channel, caused them massive issues. But they learned from that, and I think
and they moved on.
They came out of the campaign that was all about transparency, and since they launched the transparent campaign, their share price has gone up 233%.
Other examples of marketers that you think are getting it right?
I mean, I think there's those who are getting it wrong as well. But who I would say the other best example for me in recent times is probably Patagonia. And I think the second thing I was going to say, transparency, authenticity, speed is the first thing. The second thing is to find what I call your social business idea. Is that I think people get you need to make money as a business, look at the economic problems we have today because of the lack of growth in certain countries, but they want you to make that money and be profitable in the right way. What is the purpose behind the profit? And one of the kind of terms I've coined is the social business idea. And really, I think if you look at Patagonia, it's a brilliant example of that. They've gone out, they've created a channel with eBay to resell secondhand Patagonia clothing. The whole campaign around it is don't buy this, and what they're saying to their consumers is don't buy a new one. Somebody out there has a second-hand one. They're probably prepared and happy to sell.
But they're making money by doing that. I mean,
they actually make no money on that because somebody else someone is buying something that's already been bought. So there's actually no margin in it at all, or no profit and no money for Patagonia. But I think what they are doing is they are very, very smartly positioning themselves as an incredibly responsible company.
How is that going to make them money in the long run?
Because in the long run, people will look at Patagonia and go, what a great company, what a great business. If they are doing that, imagine how they must, the care they must take with the products they're sourcing, with how they manufacture them, with how they recycle them, and all those kind of things.
So it builds goodwill for the brand that you think ultimately pays off?
Yeah, I think it's more than goodwill. I mean, I think, people look at that company and go, they share my values, that's the kind of company I want to be doing business with, and that they will make more money because of that over the long run than if they didn't do it. I think it's a similar thing with the Domino's example. I mean, they broke every rule in the book. Domino's basically sat down and went, we're going to shoot the product like it is rather than retouch it. We're going to show research that says our product doesn't taste great. That goes against every single rule of marketing of the last 20 or 30 years, where you certainly would hide anything negative, and yet it's worked incredibly well for them. And I think that's the new world we're living in. It is a world where you need the purpose beyond the profit, where you need to be transparent, authentic, and fast. And if you don't, it may not happen this week, may not happen this month, may not happen this year, but you will get taken down.